Greetings to all. Welcome to Future Officers Academy. Today we are going to discuss the August 2nd daily current affairs. So today we are going to discuss the topics of states can subclassify SC for quotas. So which comes under GS2 paper Indian polity. Next fourth it as cloudburst wreak havoc in Himachal Pradesh. So which comes under GS3 disaster and disaster management. Next disaster management bill table in Lok Sabha, which comes under same GS3 paper. Next mental health matters, the psychological pressures for UPSC preparation. So which comes under GS2 paper social justice. Next Jumar dance. So we have to know about in the term wise in news. Next editorial analysis, and finally we'll see the international organization topic. So now we'll move on to the topics. So today our first topic is about states can subclassify SC for quotas. So first we have to know why it is in news. So majority ruling on August 1, the Supreme Court determined the subclassification within the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe categories as permissible to extend the benefits of affirmative action. However, the seven-judge bench led by the Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, emphasized that this must be grounded on quantifiable and demonstrable data rather than the political motivations. Now, what is the background of the case here? First, the constitutional position and attempts by the states of subcategories, that is ACs. So, the Article 341 of the Constitution allows the President, through the public notification, to list as SC caste, race, or tribes that suffer from the historical injustice of untouchability. SC groups are jointly accorded 15% reservation in education and public employment. In the last 3 decades, multiple states like Punjab, Bihar, Tamil Nadu have tried to bring in reservation laws at the state level in a bit of subcategories. So, in 1975, the Punjab government issued a notification dividing its 25% reservation for SC at that time into two categories. Later in 2000, a similar law introduced by Andhra Pradesh, which was struck down by five-judge constitution bench of SC. However, all plans were challenged in courts and the Supreme Court formed its larger constitution bench to decide this matter. So we have here EV Chinnaya versus State of Andhra Pradesh case in 2004. In this case, the apex court held that once a community included in the presidential list for scheduled caste under 341 article of the constitution, they become part of a single larger class of people, casting a wide net for the purpose of reservation. The bench held that the state did not have the legislative power to create subclassifications within the single class and that such an action would violate the right to equality. The constitution has provided that these lists can only be made by parliament and notified by the president. Here, next, the Davinder Singh case. It says that in 2020, another five-member Supreme Court bench in Davinder Singh case unanimously ruled that subcategorization is constitutionally valid and suggested a large constitutional bench rule on a matter. How the matter referred to seven-judge bench. A seven-judge bench Constitution Bench is now examining the validity of its 2004 judgment in EV Chinnaya versus State of Andhra Pradesh. The top court is examining questions such as whether the subclassification inside the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe categories be permitted like in the case of other backward classes, that is OBC, and if the state assemblies are competent to introduce laws empowering the states to undertake the exercise. Now, what does the creamy layer principle say here? The creamy layer principle says that exclusion of the creamy layer, such as the creamy layer principle refers to the exclusion of more affluent and advanced members within a backward class from receiving reservation benefits. Next, achieving the true equality. Justice B.R. Gavey, in his concurring opinion, emphasized the need for states to identify and exclude the creamy layer among SC and STs to ensure the affirmative action benefits reach those who are genuinely disadvantaged. Now we have to know about the historical reason also. The creamy layer principle has been upheld in various Supreme Court judges such as in an Indra Shavani judgment in 1992, which have recognized that certain individuals within reserved categories may have advanced socio-economic status and should not benefit from reservations intend to disadvantage. Now, what are the constitutional provisions related to the reservation of India? So, under Part 16, we have the Constitution of India deals with the reservation of SC and ST in central and state legislature. Under Article 15 of the Constitution empowers the state to make the following provisions, such as under Article 15 Class 3, it provides special provision for women and children. Under Class 4 of Article 15 and Article 15 Class 5 provides a special provisions for the advancement of any socially and educationally backward classes of citizens for the SC and STs include their admission to educational institutions, including private one. Under Article 15, Subclass 6, it provides special provisions for advancement of any economically weaker sections, that is EWS, of citizens other than class mentioned in Class 4 and 5. In Article 16, it provides for the grounds of positive discrimination or reservation in government jobs. Under Article 16, Class 4, it says provides for the reservation appointments or posts in favor of any backward class of citizens. Under Article 16, Class 4, Subclass A provides for reservation in promotion for scheduled caste, SC and scheduled tribe. The Constitution was amended by the Constitution 77th Amendment Act 1995 and new class, this 4A, was inserted in Article 16 to enable the government to provide reservation in promotion. Next, Article 16, Class 4, Subclass B allows states to consider unified reserved vacancies from a previous year mean for SC and STs. It was inserted by 81st Constitutional Amendment Act 2000. Now, Article 16, Class 6 provides for the reservation of appointments or posts in favor of any economically weaker sections, and Article 233T provides reservation of seats for SC and STs in every municipality. In Article 243D provides reservation for seats SC and STs in every panchayat. Under Article 335, the Constitution of says that claims of ST and ST shall be taken into consideration consistently with the maintenance of efficacy of the administration. Under Article 330 and 332 provide for specific representation through reservation of seats for SC and STs in the parliament in the state of legislative assemblies respectively. So with this, we have a UPSC prelims question which have been asked in previous year 2023. Consider the following statement. First, we have here statement 1. The Supreme Court of India has held in some judgments that reservation policies made under Article 16 Class 4 of the Constitution of India would be limited by the Article 335 for the maintenance of an efficiency of administration. In statement 2, they gave Article 335 of the Constitution of India defines the term efficiency of administration. Which one of the following is correct in respect of the above statement? So here the answer is C. Statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. So statement 1 correct. Now we will move on to the next topic. 4 dead as cloudburst wreak havoc in Himachal Pradesh. So why it is in news? In Himachal Pradesh, 4 people have died and 49 are missing due to the cloudburst in Shimla, Mandi and Kulu districts, causing severe flooding and damage. Torrential rain has fallen rivers, resulting in flash floods and infrastructure damages. Chief Minister Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu has mobilized rescue efforts in support from the Army and Air Force. So we have to know about the cloudburst. So a cloudburst is a sudden, intense rainfall event that results in a rapid discharge of rain over a small area, often causing flash floods. So next, the cloudbursts are different from the rainfall. We have to know the difference between them. So the rain is condensed water falling from a cloud, while cloudburst is a sudden heavy rainstorm. Rain over 100 mm per hour is categorized as a cloudburst. The cloudburst is a natural phenomenon but occurs quite unexpectedly, very abruptly and rather drenching. Now what are all the characteristics of this cloudburst? typically occurs in mountains or hilly ranges. Short duration but with extremely high rainfall intensity. Now, what are the causes here? Topographic effects first is, so under topographic effect it has orographic lifting where moist air is forced upwards by mountains. Next, the atmospheric instability, rapid cooling of air that leads to the condensation and heavy rainfall. Next, the localized weather phenomena such as thunderstorm. Now, what are the consequences of the cloudbursts? The consequences are, first, the flash floods. Next, the landslides. Next, property damage, and next is loss of life and injury. So these are all the consequences of the cloudburst. Next, the forecasting of cloudbursts. The Indian Meteorological Department forecasts rainfall events well in advance, but it does not predict the quantum of rainfall. In fact, no meteorological agency does. The forecast can be about light, heavy, or very heavy rainfall, but weather scientists do not predict exactly how much rain is likely to fall at given places. Also, the forecasts are for relatively large geographical area, usually a region, a state, a meteorological subdivision, or at best district. Theoretically, it is not impossible to forecast rainfall over a very small area as well. It requires a very dense network of weather instruments and computing capabilities that seem unfeasible with current technologies. As a result, specific cloudburst events cannot be forecast. Now, what are the preparedness and mitigation measures here? The first thing under the preparedness is early warning system. Early warning system. So, implementation of weather forecasting tools and satellite monitoring to predict cloudbursts, dissemination of alerts through local media, mobile apps, and community networks have been seen under early warning system. Next, the community awareness. Community awareness. So, public education on recognizing cloudburst signs and immediate response action, conducting community drills and workshops on emergency preparedness. Next, the third is infrastructure development. So, construction of rainwater harvesting system and drainage channels to manage sudden runoff, strengthening of embankments and river banks to prevent flooding, building resilient infrastructure that can withstand sudden weather changes. So, with this, we have the previous year prelims practice question which have been asked to work on yourself. So consider the following statements regarding cloudburst in India. So cloudbursts take place when an air mass with high humidity is stuck at the place. Cloudbursts let top flash floods that cause damage to human beings and also property. In India, the cloudbursts are seen in Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand. For this question, you can answer in a comment section. For this question, we'll post answer in a next video. Next, the disaster management bill tabled in Lok Sabha. So we have to know about why it is in news. The Disaster Management Amendment Bill 2024, introduced by Union Minister Nityan Rai, aims to establish a national disaster database and urban disaster management authorities in major cities. It empowers the national and state disaster management authorities to prepare disaster plans, replacing previous executive committees, sparking opposition concerns about state authority encroachment. Now, what are the provisions in this bill? So, we have creation of a disaster database. Next, urban disaster management authority. Next, empowerment of NDMA and SDMAs. Next, periodic risk assessment. Periodic risk assessment. Next, statutory status. Statutory status of pre-organizations. Next, penalties for non-compliance. So these are all the provisions on in the bill. Now, what are the questions on this provisions have been seen? The first question is we have the multiplicity of authorities. Next, constitutional validity. Constitutional validity. And third is concerns over central authority. So these are all the questions under the provisions. So with this, we have the UPSC mains question which have been asked in previous year 2020. Discuss the recent measures initiated in the disaster management by the government of India, departing from the earlier reactive approach. So you can practice on this mains question. So our next topic is about mental health matters, the psychological pressures of UPSC preparation. So why it is in news? Recent flooding of a Delhi coaching institute has spotlighted the severe pressures faced by UPSC aspirants, including academic, financial, and mental health challenges. The intense demands, high costs, and fears about exam integrity contribute to significant stress, affecting students' overall well-being and prompting urgent calls for better support systems. Now, what are the recent incident and systematic lapses seen? A recent flood in Delhi Coaching Institute highlighted the precarious living conditions of UPSC aspirants. This tragic event has underscored systematic issues and intense pressure faced by students impacting their mental health. Now, what are the overwhelming pressure factors? The first thing is academic rigor. Next, current events, self-induced pressure, self-induced pressure. Next, peer and family pressure. Peer and family pressure. So these are the overwhelming pressure efforts. Next, the economic pressures are financial as investment, family income, coaching fees, additional cost, financial support. So these are all the economic pressures. Now exam integrity concerns are paper leaks and UPSC exam books. In paper leaks, recent leaks like NCRT and UGC NET exams have highlighted concerns about the exam integrity. Next, the impact on the mental health. So how it impacts in mental health? So by pre-existing versus new stuff, many students reported increased feelings of loneliness, stress, fear, frustration, and sadness since starting preparation. Mental health trends like 4 in 10 students reported improved mental health, while 3 in 10 experienced worsening conditions. 2 in 10 show no change. Now, what are the coping mechanisms here? Support systems, healthy coping strategies, unhealthy coping methods. So, these are all the coping mechanisms. Next, the seeking professional help. So, the seeking professional help is the first one is therapy. Next, the medication. These two are the seeking professional of help. Next, the conclusion they say is that the UPSC exam journey is demanding, impacting students' mental health significantly. Addressing mental health through self-care, support systems, and professional help is crucial for maintaining resilience and well-being. Recognizing the importance of mental health is essential for ensuring students are prepared both academically and mentally. So with this, we have UPSC prelims question which have been asked in previous year 2016. Consider the following pairs. Community sometimes in the affairs of mention in news. So Kurd, Bangladesh, Madesi, Nepal, Rohingya, Myanmar. So we have which of the pairs given above is are correctly matched. So the answer is C. 2 and 3. Madesi and Rohingya are the correct statement. So next we'll see about the Jumhur dance. So the Assam government is getting up for Grand Jumur dance performance featuring 8,000, how much? 8,000 T-tribe artists. So we have to know about Jumur. So it is a traditional dance of T-tribe communities of Assam. The dance is usually performed during autumn season in Assam. This dance is also found in few parts of West Bengal. This dance is performed by young girls mostly in open area like field or under a tree. So the girls performed this dance accompanied by male members to maintain the rhythm and vocals and play music instruments. The dance is performed to the rhythmic accompaniment of madal, a popular two-headed hand drum. Further accompanying the drums are flute and a pair of tals that make the music more harmonious. The girls mostly perform the dancing part, holding each other's waist and moving hands and legs forward and backward synchronously. This dance incorporates songs and dialogues which depict the joys and sorrows, yearning and aspirations of everyday lives of the common people. Sometimes this dance is performed as a ritual worship, sometimes for countering and lovemaking, and sometimes for prayer for rainfall by the tea tribal communities of Assam. It is believed that Jumur was originally a means of recreation between phases of tedious agriculture work. So with this, we have the UPSC prelims question which have been asked in 2014 year. Consider the following pairs. Garba, Gujarat, Mohiniyattam, Odisha, Yakshagana, Karnataka. Which of the pairs given above is correctly matched? So the answer is C. 1 and 3. Garba belongs to Gujarat, Yakshagana belongs to Karnataka. Next, we'll see about the editorial analysis. The editorial analysis topic is a verdict on money bill that India avoids. So with this, we have we have to know about why it is in news currently. So a seven-judge bench of the Supreme Court in India will examine the definition of money bill affecting recent legalization passed without Rajya Sabha approval. This decision will impact India's federal structure and constitutional balance of power, focusing on the controversial Finance Act 2017 and related cases. Now, what are the constitutional provisions here? The constitutional provisions are under Article 109. Bill in India requires approval from both the houses of parliament to become law. However, a money bill can be enacted with only the Lok Sabha's approval. Under the Article 110, Class 1 defines a money bill listing specific subject. It must exclusively deal with including taxes, borrowing of money and matters related to the Consolidated Fund of India. Under Article 110, Class 3, it gives the Lok Sabha Speaker the final authority to determine whether the bill is a money bill. Now, the issues with the Finance Act 2017. The Finance Act 2017 incorporated provisions beyond those allowed under Article 110 Class 1, such as tribunal or reorganization and delegation of powers to the executive. The legislation also included substantive amendments of law affecting the judiciary independence, which were not merely incidental to the provisions of a money bill. Next, what are the recent precedents on implications? So other instances like Finance Act 2019 also bypassed the Rajya Sabha using the money bill route. It included major amendments to the Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. The Supreme Court in Vijay Mandal Chaudhary versus Union of India upheld many of these amendments but left open the question of their validity as the money bill. Now, what is the importance of the Rajya Sabha here? Justice D.Y. Chandrachand emphasized the critical role of Rajya Sabha in reflecting India's pluralism and acting as a federal check on legislation. The practice of bypassing the Rajya Sabha via money bills underdetermines its constitutional role and threatens the federal balance. Now, here, what is a money bill? A money bill is a specific type of financial legislation that exclusively deals with matters related to taxes, government revenues, or expenditures. It is defined under Article 1 10 of the Indian Constitution. Every money bill is a finance bill, but every finance bill is not a money bill. A finance bill can cover a broader range of financial issues, whereas a money bill is specifically limited to the matters mentioned in Article 110 of the Constitution. Therefore, while every money bill is financial bill, not every financial bill is the money bill. Now, what are the three provisions of this money bill? So, under Article 110, Class 1, Subclass A, it says that imposition, abolition, remission, alteration, or regulation of any tax. Under Article 110, Class 1, Subclass B, the regulation of borrowing by the government or giving of any gratitude by the government of the amendment of the law for any financial obligations undertaken by the government. Next, under Article 110, Class 1, Subclass C, it says about custody of the consolidated fund or the contingency fund of India, the payment of money into or a withdrawal of money from any such fund. Next, under Article 110, Class 1, Subclass D, it says appropriation of money out of consolidated fund of India. Next, under Article 10, 110, Subclass 1, Subclass E, it says about declaration of any expenditure to be expenditure charged under consolidated fund of India or the increase of the amount of any such expedition. Next, under Article 110, Class 1, Subclass F, it says recipient of money on account of the consolidated fund of India or the public account of India or the custody or issue of such money or the audit of the account of the union or of the state. Next, under Article 110 Class 1 Subclass G says any matter incidentally to any of the matters specified in Subclass A to F. Next, what are the role of different institutions with respect to money bill? First, we have the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, President, and the joint sitting. So these are all the role different institutions we have respect with the money bills. Now, what are the significance of money bills? The significance is to deals with financial matters, vote of confidence, constitutional safeguard, and time-bound process. These are the significance of money bills. Now, the issues with respect to money bills. The issues are alleged misuse of money bill rule, limits Rajya Sabha role in lawmaking, anything can be passed as a money bill, and hasty lawmaking. These are all the issues have been seen under the money bill. So, with this, we'll be seeing the Financial Action Task Force FATF under the international organization. So it has been formed in the year 1989. So 35 years ago. The type of this is intergovernmental organization. Its headquarters is in Paris, France. Here we have the membership of 40 members. So FATF is an intergovernmental policy making and standard setting body dedicated to combating money laundering and terrorist financing. Now, objective of this is to establish international standards and to develop and promote policies both at a national and international levels to combat money laundering and financing terrorism. Their origin. So it was established in 1989 as we saw and during G7 summit in Paris to develop policies against money laundering. So in 2001, its mandate expanded to include terrorism financing. Now the FATF members, it includes 39 countries including the United States, India, China, Saudi Arabia, Britain, Germany, France, and EU as such. India became a member of FATF in 2010. Next, what are FATF grey list and blacklist? So blacklists are countries known as non-cooperative countries or terrorist, that is NCCTS, are put on the blacklist. The FATF revises the blacklist regularly, adding or deleting entries. Next, the grey list. The grey list are countries that are considered as safe haven for supporting terror funding and money laundering are put on the FATF grey list. This inclusion serves as a warning to the country that it may enter the blacklist. Three countries we have North Korea, Iran, and Myanmar are currently under the FATF blacklist. Next, what are the consequences of being on the FATF blacklist? No financial aid have been given by the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, Asian Development Bank, and the European Bank. They also face a number of international economic and financial restrictions and sanctions. So, to read this document, you can visit our website. Our website link have been provided in the description. To get more daily current affairs videos, follow our YouTube channel, also our Telegram channel. Thank you.